Good morning and welcome to the Church360 Unite webinar on adding and updating pages. My name is Andrew Osborne. I'm a content specialist here at Concordia Technology Solutions. You have my contact information up there. Anything I can help you with or questions you might have about the software, feel free to send me an email or give me a call. Or you can call our 800 number and talk to one of our support team members, and we can answer any questions you might have. So like I said, if you can't figure something out or you need help with something, feel free to contact me. But a few housekeeping items before we get started today. Number one, the presentation will be about 25 minutes, and then at the end we're going to have 5 minutes for questions. And you can ask questions throughout the presentation. However, I won't be answering them until the end. That way I can make sure I get through all of the information that I'm going to try to squeeze in today. But feel free to ask the questions throughout. That way at the end I have a list of them I can go through, and I'll try to get all of them answered before we finish. If for some reason I can't get to all of them or I don't know the answer, I'll try to find that answer and send you an email responding to it. And this recording will be shared at the end. We'll be posting it on our YouTube channel. So if you need to share it with other members at your church or you need to go back and reference it, you can go to our YouTube channel and find this presentation as well as a ton of other presentations we've done before, and find all of the information you need. I have a brief outline for us. There's only a few things we're going to try to get to today, but they're decently packed things. First, we're going to talk about adding pages. Then we're going to talk about the types of pages there are. We'll talk about categories, and then we'll get into editing pages. And that will probably be the bulk of what we're going to do today. And then at the end, like I said, we'll have the time for questions and answers. So let's jump right in. Let me switch over here to my browser. And this is the home screen. This is where you'll be when you first get in. And today we're going to talk about pages. So this tab right up here. And to access this pages area, you either need to be an administrator, a designer, or a publisher. So those three can get in here. So we'll click on pages, and it'll take you to this area. Oh, sorry, real quick, I wanted to show you your navigation up here. This is like your menu. These are the different areas. Oops, sorry, hit a button. These are the different areas and pages that you have on your menu. So when you go back to the pages area, these are the pages that are available, and they make up your menu bar here. So let's go back to pages, and now you can see kind of the hierarchy of the menu area here and what we were just looking at. So to start off, we're going to talk about the pages area. So to add a page, you would click on this button here that says Add Pages. So let me show you what's in there. We'll talk about some of these in more detail in a little bit, but just as an overview, this is a blank page, so it's kind of like a blank canvas to start from with nothing on it. Then we also have feed pages, and these are for things like blogs and announcements and different feeds like that. Then we also have group pages, and those are where your members can get in and create their own groups and have discussions and post images and do all sorts of different things on there. And feeds and pages feeds and groups we're not going to talk about too much today, because in the next 2 weeks we're doing several more webinars, and we're going to dive into those in more details on those days. So check out our training page to find out when those are, or I'll probably announce those at the end. And then we also have some template pages here, such as calendars, a page about Jesus, what we believe, different things like that. So let me exit out of here real quick. There are also categories, and that's what this button is here. And the categories are these folder-looking things, and that's basically what they are, is a folder to hold your pages. In the past, websites used to have category pages themselves, where you could click on this head item here, and it would open up a page on worship times. But now that, or news, but now that more people are viewing websites on their mobile phones or their tablets and things like that, You aren't able to click on those and hover over them to see what those are. So you can't use that as a page itself anymore, because if you clicked on it, then you go to that rather than open this up. So these are just used as placeholders or as categories so that you can see what's underneath them. So let me go back to here, and you can see that we have different categories such as news and ministries and visit down here. And those just hold these other pages underneath them. We have some buttons down here at the bottom. These are controls for these pages. So if you would click on a page such as What We Believe, you could either publish it so that anyone can see it. You could make it a draft so that, for instance, if you're working on the page, you don't want it to be public, you could make it a draft. That way no one can see it while you're working on it, and then you could publish it again to make it visible to the public. You could delete the page. If you were finished with it and just need to get rid of it, you would delete it. You can make it public or private. If it's public, anyone in the world can see it. If they go to your website, it'll pop up in your navigation menu to anyone. If you set it to private, you have to be a member to view that page. So you'd have to be logged in with your email address, and then it would appear in your menu bar. If it's set to private, then a random person who doesn't have a login, it just wouldn't appear in their menu bar. And that's handy if there's sensitive information on your website that you don't want just anyone to view. For an acolyte schedule, you want to protect your youth and their names and their information on your website, but you still want them to be able to access the information and the schedule. So you would set that page to private, and then they could log in and view all their information without just random people coming in and finding all that information. So it's a handy way to keep things nice and safe. So again, we have these different page types, blank pages, feeds, groups, and then these different templates. We're going to choose one of the templates, and I'll show you kind of how to edit the page now. So we'll start with this What We Believe page. We'll create the page, and then it pops over here, and you can hit Enter to save the name. And I'm just going to drag it over here under, let's do under Ministries. Actually, no, let's do About Us. There we go. So now it's in the menu. When you go to your main page, oops, sorry, I forgot. You have to save the changes. Glad that pops up. So now we'll exit out. We go to the home page. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. All right, and under About Us, you can see it now pops up there, What We Believe. So you can click on that. Oh, that's odd. I don't know why that keeps popping up. But anyway, now our template shows you different things that you would want to include on a What We Believe page. So it explains what We Believe page is, and then gives you different topics that you could hit on, such as sacraments, Trinity. And actually, I think I was going to do, I didn't mean to do a What We Believe page. We already have one of those. So let me delete that one. I'll show you how to delete now. So you click on it and delete, and then it'll go away. I was actually going to add a What to Expect page. So now I'll do that, enter. I'll drag that over to here under Mission and Vision. All right, and then exit out. Oh, save. And now I'll exit out. Go home. That's odd that that keeps popping up like that. And now under About Us, you can see what to expect. And again, it shows different things that you would want to put on your What to Expect page for people to see, like what a service is like, what the music is like, how people dress, all those different things. So I'll kind of show how to edit this now. So this is your page. To edit your page, you would click this button called Edit Page. And you have different layouts that you can use. There's this standard layout. You can do 2 columns, 1 big column, 1 small column. You could do a bar across the top and then 2 columns under, or 1 with a small on the left and 1 on the right. Or you could do this bar across the top with 3 columns. I like I think I'm going to stick with this one for today. Actually, let me do this one right here with the small bar on the left and then the bigger column on the right. And then you also have a status here. You could set it as draft while you're editing it, or you could publish it to make it public for anyone to see. For now, we'll leave it as a draft. You can change your URL if you don't want that to pop up here after your website name. You could change that to anything you want, and it'll be what people type in to get to this page. You could change the title of the page here. You could add a meta description, and meta descriptions are useful for like Google Analytics and things like that. Having a good meta description in there and explaining what your page is will help give you good SEO value for Google to make your page pop up higher on Google when people type in some of the keywords that you type in there. So for now that we picked our layout and we've got all this set, we'll hit save. I really don't know why that's doing that. Let's refresh. All right, so now if we hit edit page again, we can click in here and we can edit all this. And I pulled some information off of my personal church that I'm going to fill in here to kind of show you what you would type in here. So I'll paste that in. And right now it's all kind of in this one normal text view. And to change the look of it, you would highlight what you want to be like a header and click Styles, and I'll make that heading 2. So now it's got that bold green look up there. And then I'll leave that one as a normal paragraph. I'll do the same to this, heading 2, heading 2, and heading 2. So now that looks pretty good. It's coming along pretty well. I'll save those changes. And then if you wanted to add a picture down here, I think I've got one in here already, to give people an idea of what your church looks like. Let's see, maybe I don't have it. There it is. So I'll add that in. Click on it. Okay. And you can see it's kind of skewed oddly, so we'll double click on that and go under Advanced. And if you type 100% in both width and height, that should correct the aspect ratio for you, and that looks better. So now on your What to Expect page, you can show people kind of what it looks like at a normal service at your church and what people dress like and what the pattern and how everything looks at your church. So let's see. In here I'll type something about what people wear. So I'll copy that in, what to wear. And so now you can see kind of how easy it is to throw a page together and get all the information in there and add a picture in and give descriptions to everything. So we'll save that, then close Edit Page, and your page is finished. So now if you go back to the home page, you can come back and go to What to Expect, and people will be able to come to your site and figure out what your site's about and how they should dress if they're new visitors and different things like that. So there's lots of different ways you can use pages. The templates over here just give you kind of a base to jump off of, but you really can add a page for anything that you could think of, and add different content such as pictures or videos or all sorts of stuff, and to add different pictures and videos and things like that. And you would just go to the edit page, and then there's all this different stuff up here, such as images. You could add audio, you can add video, you can add links, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's a great way to edit your page. You can make certain things bold, or underlined, or anything you want. So it's very similar to like Microsoft Word or any kind of text editor. This is our WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. So as you're typing things, the way you see it as you're typing it is how it'll appear when you're finished editing. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to go through today. So if you have any questions now, let's jump over to that. I know we have one question, but now would be the time to ask any questions you can think of. If there's anything you'd like to see again, ask that, and I can walk through it again. or if there's something I didn't hit that you were wondering about, let me know. Let me check out this one. The question we have is about Google Analytics and metadata. And I think eventually we'll probably do a webinar on that topic. But for now, there are some pretty good resources out there to figure out what kind of metadata to use. I'm by no means an expert on it. I just know kind of the surface level of how to please Google to get your website higher up on the Google list. But I know there's some good resources out there, so if you just Google that, I'm sure you could find some good stuff on figuring out how to promote your page better and find the right keywords. A lot of it is just using longer tail keywords, so not just like one word like church or what to expect, but having a longer phrase that explains what you're trying to get across. Like, this is what to expect when you visit our church in blank, blank, blank. And just using more keywords that people would type in to find that rather than being short and concise. So the more you put in there, the more likely Google will be to promote your page toward the top of the list. That was a great question. Any other questions? Anything anyone would like to see again, or things you don't quite understand? As we're waiting, oops. I just wanted to mention that we have regular product updates. Occasionally we'll come out with a new product or a different thing that our website builder can do. Recently we brought out the styles, and those help you to keep your site more consistent and keeping more consistent colors and fonts across all your pages. But we have different product updates, and you can find those updates by subscribing to our blog at 360unite.com/blog. And once you subscribe to that, you'll be able to see all the updates that we come out with. I've got another question here. Let me take a look at this. All right, so the question is how to set up a sermon blog menu with an archive that includes audio files. So we'll get into this more on, I think it's next week. Actually, let me look. Next week we have a webinar on feeds. So yep, next Tuesday I believe it is, we'll be talking about feeds, and that's probably how you would set up a sermon blog. So if you'd like to learn more about that, sign up for our webinar on Tuesday, but I can kind of just touch on that real quick. So you would set up a page. I think we have one in here already, a feed. Yeah, we have a sermons page here. And in this page you can add these different sermons. And to add audio, you would just click on this little audio button here and find the file and throw it up there. So that's probably how you would go about doing it. Hope that answers your question. But like I said, we'll get more into that on Tuesday. So if you're able to make it to that, try to be there for that. Let's see. Another question is, when you click on the icon for a new page, sometimes you see a hyperlink underneath and sometimes you don't. Why is that? That's a great question. I don't know if I even know. My gut thought is that when you first create it, it doesn't have one. So if I created a blank page here and just named it blank, I don't think this would have one. But then once you go to that page, so let me save, exit out of here, go to blank, and you make sure you have the URL in there, and that's saved. And now I don't know if this will work for sure, but I think, yep, now it'll pop in there as blank. So when you first add it in, it won't have a URL. But then once you start editing that page and you make sure it has the URL and you change it to whatever you want it to be, that will then appear under your menu items. Great question. Anything else I can answer for anyone? Any thoughts or ideas that you'd like me to expand upon? Like I was saying, if you'd like to receive product updates to see what our new features are and things like that, sign up for our blog at 360unite.com/blog, and you'll receive all of the updates on our different features and products that we're coming out with. And again, here's my contact information. If you have any questions that you can't think of right now, but later on you think of something and need to ask, feel free to email me or call me. You can also email or call our support team, and they are far more knowledgeable than me and could answer anything that you throw at them probably. But feel free to check with either of us if you have any questions. So another question is, it sounds like our categories pages within pages, and I think that's what you're asking. And the answer is no. Categories are more of just holders, so they hold the pages. You wouldn't actually go to a category like a page. Oops, I just moved that. It's more of just a placeholder. So like over here you see news. You can't click on news. News just holds all of these within it. So these are the pages, and this is the category. The category isn't a page itself. It's just a placeholder or a folder to hold these different pages within it. Great question. Another question, is there any plans to create pages within pages under a category? That I'm not sure about. I don't think you can right now add different layers to your pages. I'd have to find out about that, and I could send the answer out to you. But right now I don't believe that's in the works. So yeah, I'm not sure. But I'll find that question and try to figure that out for you. Let's see. Another question you had was, oops. Go to news, hover over pastor. I'm not sure what you're talking about there in that question. Doesn't appear to be doing that for me. If you can expand on that question, I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're asking. Oh, no problem. All right. Any other questions? Here's my contact information again. Like I said, if you have any questions that you can't think of now, but you think of later, feel free to email me or call me, or call or email our support team. We'll be able to answer those questions for you, or at least find those answers for you. And again, if you want updates on our different features and products, feel free to subscribe to our blog at 360unite.com/blog. You'll receive updates about different products and features that we're coming out with. Here's my contact information one more time, just in case. Just waiting to see if any other questions pop up. We'll give you another minute or two. All right, well, if we don't have anything else, then I guess we can end a little bit early today. Like I said, if you think of a question, please email me or the support team, and we could try and answer those questions for you. And if you're interested, next week we have a webinar on feeds, posts, and comments on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we have another one on users, mailings, and directories. And then the week after we have on that Tuesday a webinar on calendars and events, and then that Thursday we'll have one on groups. So lots of different webinars coming up. I hope you can make it to them. We'll walk through some of the different features of Church360 Unite and answer any questions you might have on those. So thank you for joining me today. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions and give you some ideas of how to use pages and how to edit your pages. And if you have any questions, give me a call or send me an email. But thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.